Place a toy in front of a 4-month-old infant. Watch as their eyes track it, their hands reach for it, their whole body orients toward it with rapt attention. Now cover the toy with a cloth. In that instant, for that infant, the toy ceases to exist. There is no searching, no reaching beneath the cloth, no evident expectation that the object is still there. It has simply vanished from the universe, because for the infant, the universe is nothing more than the immediate field of sensation. What cannot be seen, heard, or touched does not exist. This is the world before object permanence, and Jean Piaget believed that understanding this state, and the transformation out of it, was essential to understanding the human mind itself. Object permanence is the cognitive achievement of understanding that objects continue to exist independently of one's own perception of them. It is the realization that the world has an existence beyond the immediate sensory moment, that a person who leaves the room is still somewhere, that a hidden toy is still under the cloth, that reality persists even when direct contact with it is interrupted. For adults, this seems so obvious as to be trivial. For infants, it is one of the most revolutionary cognitive discoveries of a lifetime. Piaget first documented this phenomenon through systematic observation of his own 3 children in the 1930s and 1940s. He noticed that very young infants, in what he termed the sensoromotor stage, spanning birth to roughly age 2, did not search for objects that were hidden from view. More tellingly, they showed no distress, no confusion, no frustrated searching. The object was gone, and that was simply the end of the matter. The infant's world was a world of pure present-tense experience, with no mental representation of what was absent. Piaget charted the gradual emergence of object permanence across 6 substages within the sensoromotor period. In the earliest weeks, infants have no object concept whatsoever. By around 4 months, they will briefly track an object that begins to move out of view, as if anticipating its trajectory, but they will not search for it once it disappears completely. By 6 to 8 months, something new appears. The infant will pull away a cloth to retrieve an object they watched being hidden, but only if the hiding was simple and direct. Show them the object, hide it under cloth A, and they will successfully retrieve it. But here Piaget discovered one of the most famous phenomena in developmental psychology, the A-not-B error. If you then, in full view of the infant, move the object from hiding place A to hiding place B, the infant will still search at A. They search where they previously found the object, not where they just saw it hidden. The object's existence, for the infant at this stage, is not yet fully independent of the infant's own prior actions. It is as if the toy exists where the infant has successfully reached for it before, not where it objectively is. True object permanence, the understanding that an object exists in a specific location regardless of where the child has searched before, and even when the hiding was not directly observed, does not solidify until somewhere between 12 and 18 months. And it is not fully complete until around 2 years of age, when the child can mentally represent an object that has undergone a series of invisible displacements. The implications of this developmental sequence are vast. Object permanence is a prerequisite for symbolic thought. To use a word or an image to represent something that is not present, the mind must first be capable of representing the absent thing at all. Language, therefore, depends on object permanence. So does memory, in any meaningful sense. And crucially, emotional attachment depends on it too. The anxiety that infants begin to show around 7 to 9 months when a primary caregiver leaves, what we call separation anxiety, is possible precisely because the infant now knows the caregiver continues to exist somewhere, and that somewhere is not here. Later researchers, including René Balajan, have challenged Piaget's timeline using more sensitive measures like looking time experiments, suggesting that infants may have some implicit understanding of object continuity as early as 3 or 4 months. But whether or not the precise timetable holds, the core phenomenon Piaget identified is real and profound. The infant's mind must construct a world of permanent objects from a flux of transient sensations, and that construction takes time, experience, and biological maturation. Object permanence reminds us that the structured, stable, object-filled world we inhabit as adults is not a given. It is a cognitive achievement, built incrementally, earned through the accumulated experience of watching things disappear and learning, slowly, wonderfully, that they are still there. Subscribe to Psychology Theories Explained to explore more of the ideas that shape the modern mind.